Hello, everybody. Happy Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. My name is Angela Pang, and I'm one of the co-chairs of San Francisco's APA Heritage Month celebration. And today I'm joined by Chau.
Thank you, Angela. Happy APA month, and my name is Chau Glover. I'm the founder of Chilipepper events. Today we have Perez, who is the board of Filipino Food Movement and the president of Filipino American Art Exposition and the APA Heritage Celebration co-chair. And also joining us today is Sonia Delen, is also the board of Filipino Food Movement. And thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you. We're happy
for having us.
Happy APA Heritage Month.
Thank you again both for being here. Sonia, as we celebrate APA Heritage Month, can you please tell us about how the Filipino Food Movement started?
It's wonderful. Yes, Filipino Food Movement, FFM, is a nonprofit organization founded in 2014 by 8 very passionate volunteers who share a common vision of Filipino cuisine becoming a regular part of the American dining experience. FFM is dedicated to preserving, promoting, and progressing Filipino cuisine through education and community building, to preserve our culture, our heritage, our history, tradition through the dish, ingredients, techniques in cooking, to pass this down to the younger generation and share with the public, with the goal of promoting our talented Filipino-American chefs, food suppliers, and restaurants. We launched our signature event, Savor Filipino, in 2014 August at the Justin Herman Plaza, with 36 Filipino-American chefs coming from all over the U.S. coming to San Francisco. And to our pleasant surprise, we had 30,000 who came by to sample our food. And since then, we have collaborated, created partnerships with individuals and organizations to build awareness of Filipino food and the FFM brand through content, social media, public relations, and events. And now our network has grown. Not only are we in the US, we have chapters in Canada, in Australia, collaboration with chefs and restaurateurs in the Philippines, Europe, and the Middle East. In February, I was just in Dubai for initial planning for FFM's participation in the Dubai Expo 2020, which will now be 2021. Our focus has always been education and celebration. Each dish, technique, ingredient has regional and international influences. Filipino food, though, is diverse, it is personal, it is inclusive. Currently, we have projects in support of our chefs and our food businesses who have been severely affected by COVID-19, and Perez will elaborate on them. So we have more exciting projects in the pipeline this year and beyond, and I would like to invite everyone to join the Filipino Food Movement by going to our website, filipinofoodmovement.org, and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Thank you.
Sonia, so Al, what is the process in compiling the list for Filipino restaurants? I mean, how are those businesses doing right now under this pandemic?
Right. Thank you. So yeah, we realized right away that Filipino restaurants are some of the most negative by the effects of COVID-19. Many businesses reported a drop in sales as much as 75% and had to lay off their employees. So we in the Filipino Food Movement rallied and launched actually 2 projects. The first one is the Support Filipino Takeout. It's a marketing campaign to leverage our wide network of social media followers on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter to spread the word far and wide, to encourage our community to rally our support and save these local businesses, and to help drive takeout sales to Filipino restaurants who are able to stay. So, like you said, we created this regional directory in our website by creating a poll, and we collected all those responses. And so on our website, folks can easily find a list of restaurants nearest their home with their business hours, the delivery options, whether it's pickup or third-party apps, and any special offerings and discounts available. So our directory has grown to include Filipino restaurants in the Bay Area and now Southern California, Midwest, East Coast, Canada, and Europe. We've already seen a 300% increase in our social media engagement alone. So we are hoping that we're making a positive impact. So check out the list, the directory
And our Facebook Live.
that we launched. Yeah, it's Facebook Live. In addition to support Filipino takeout, we also have Culinary Live. It's a weekly live stream series on Facebook Live, bringing Filipino chefs from all over the world into your mobile phones and home screens to teach us how to prepare their favorite Filipino dish. So Culinary Live is on at 12 noon to 1 p.m. every Thursday on Facebook Live. Find Filipino Food Movement. So that's our two projects so far.
Great. Thanks, Al. Sonia, in 2012, Andrew Zimmerman, who's the host of Bizarre Foods on the Travel Channel, had predicted that Filipino food was going to be the next best thing. How's Filipino food evolved in the last 10 years?
Wonderfully, and we are very excited about it. 10 years ago or 6 years ago, there was not much of a cohesive effort to bring Filipino cuisine to the forefront. And FFM started collaborating with the film chefs, food suppliers, foodies, restaurants in elevating our cuisine, making them accessible through events, educating the public, getting attention and partnerships with the media. Now there are many film chefs who participated in Food Network shows with the Filipino entrees and pop-up events, receiving awards as top chefs and top restaurants throughout the US. And so there's really a beautiful progression of this. In 2018, FFM co-presented a night of Filipino cuisine at the prestigious James Beard House Foundation. And this was the first time at James Beard House offering Filipino food in their menu. And it was an incredible honor for our 5 Filipino American chefs who cook at the kitchen of this great culinary icon. It was so well attended. And also, we pioneered a lot. I mean, we have the first time also with the Oakland A's Filipino Heritage Night, we brought Filipino food to a ball game and curated the Filipino food trucks and barbecue station at the Championship Plaza. That was the first time, and we had it again last year. And hopefully, I don't know what's going to happen, but hopefully this year too. And just recently, Filipino food was the main feature of a much acclaimed documentary film called Ulam, the movie by Ali Cuerdo, and is currently actually showing in Hulu. The movie features the beginning of the Filipino restaurants in the US, their progression, and happy that the chefs whom we continue to partner with in our desire to make Filipino food more accessible in the US and the world have been featured in there. So there's a lot, and there's much more that our film chefs have to offer, and the Filipino food to be part of everyday's dining experience. So let's go Filipino tonight.
Yeah, that's great.
That sounds great, Sonia. Love to see the movement have been going to mainstream.
Yes.
And I'm turning to Al to wonder if you could share with us, like, what the difference between Filipino food and other Asian foods, and also how's other Asian cuisines influence Filipino cuisines?
Sure. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of similarities between Philippine cuisine and the other Asian cuisines just because we're all in Southeast Asia. So definitely there's a lot of rice. Mm-hmm. We eat rice with almost every meal, and we use rice as ingredient in dessert for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Right. And there's also a lot of tropical fruits and vegetables, and we also cook with a lot of sour ingredients. So I think a lot of Southeast Asian countries use that sour vegetables and fruits into their cooking. So Philippine cuisine has been influenced by lots of different countries who have set foot in the Philippines. Of course, from China, when Philippines was doing a lot of trade through centuries, all the way to India, Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, and even Japan, of course. And then, as you know, the Philippines was colonized by Spain for almost 200 years. So Philippine cuisine adapted a lot of those food from Spain and Mexico in our cuisine. And then during the war, World War II, the Philippines was also occupied by the United States. So we also incorporated a lot of ingredients in our cuisine. So original fusion cuisines out there, because it's really the Philippine cuisine incorporates so many different flavors from all over the world.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of all this yummy Filipino food, to close us out, Sonia and Elle, what are your favorite Filipino dishes? Sonia, we'll have you start us off.
Yes, well, talking about sour, I mean, sinigang is my favorite food. It is Filipino soup or stew characterized with its sour and savory taste. It is often associated with tamarind. But you can use other fruits like guava and leaves that are souring agent. I love sinigang because my dad, the cook in our family, used to cook it for us. It's our comfort food. Just like any other dishes, it is flexible. It's whatever you can get, what is ever abundant in where you are. So it's any fruit and vegetable with that souring agent. And then you could put any protein. It's a fish or chicken or meat. So now I have learned to cook sinigang and serving it to my 94-year-old dad, and he's enjoying it. And behind me, you will see that is a typical way before of cooking in the Philippines. And actually, she's cooking sinigang. We have all the fruit. We have really, indeed, it's all the eggplant and fish, and so it's really very nostalgic for me to continue to cook sinigang. It's really, and serve it with serve it steaming hot. Al, what's yours?
My favorite dish is adobo, which is considered the national dish of the Philippines. Adobo is very, very simple to make because it really consists of just vinegar and soy sauce. And then, of course, your choice of protein. So any protein that you want, whether it's chicken, pork, even fish, squid, even just vegetables. So it's very, very flexible dish. And what's great about it being using this sour ingredients, that it can last a long time even without refrigeration. So also, this dish is very flexible. Depending on what region that you live in, you can add whatever is indigenous to whatever region or island you live in the Philippines. For example, some regions might include coconut milk, and then other ingredients that's more native in their region, they will add that. But the very best adobo that I ever had was actually on Philippine Airlines. I was flying back home from my trip to the Philippines, and it's called it's a red sauce. Normally it has a brown sauce, but it's called adobo pula, or red adobo. And I don't know what they put in there. It's the first time I've ever had this version of adobo, and it just kind of blew me away. It's like, now I can't wait to go back to the Philippines and fly Philippine Airlines so I can have that again.
Well, Al, we have to get that recipe and put it on our website.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, looks like what a pleasure conversation. Thank you so much, Al and Sonia. What a lovely conversation we have this afternoon. And let's join us for a toast to celebrate our APA Heritage Month. Let's everybody raise and toast to our APA month.
Cheers. Happy APA.
Yeah, cheers.
And a toast to the Filipino Food Movement. Thank you for all your
Same here.
Thank
Thank you.
you.